So today we will talk about the significance of the elements that relates to communications. In the previous topic, we talked about what communication really is. And in order for the communication to improve, it must consist different elements, which is the sender, the message, the medium, the feedback, the receiver, and the barrier. Later on, we will talk about how to prevent the barrier in order to keep the good communications. Those elements I mentioned simply showed a cycle process that reaches other elements in order to create a good communication or good understanding from the sender who will generate the messages down to receiver who will receive the message and who completes the cycle before the feedback created. Asking why barriers are part of the elements simply because in creating communication there were always a barriers, may a noise or distraction during communicating. According to the Switzerland leadership, barriers may come from internal, the thoughts, emotions, or external sources like radio or other conversations. To prevent barriers, make sure to have an eye to eye contact when you are talking and make sure to have a good attention or understanding to have that good communication. For example, this setup right now, where I am talking in front of my camera, which I use it as my medium, and I am the sender itself. The message I convey was the thought I want to encode with you, my receiver. Um, the viewer are the receiver, and the feedback will always depend on how the communication worked well. We can always figure out the barriers which there is a misunderstanding or misconnection to the receiver together with the feedback. Right now, for example, if there's any sounds or any barriers that will interrupt my talking, you, my receiver, might get the message unclear. So in order to have a clear communication, sender may have the good medium and the good thoughts that may encode to receiver. Of course, to have a good feedback. And that's how the elements affect communication. Each element plays a big role to complete the cycle. Let's see. Let's see this for the statement from the political scientist Harold Laswell, 1948. He said that communication process could be best be explained by the simple statement. And he added, who says what to whom, in what channel, with what effect. And yes, to better understand, let's see for some example. In the near future, I may become a teacher, and of course, I am more in communicating to my students. And we all know that students are at the process of learning. So I considered myself as a sender that will generate the every knowledge they may receive. And in order for them to receive the message, um, clearly, of course, how I communicate will be based on the level of their understanding. A simple yet understandable communication will always have a good feedback and can prevent barriers or any interruptions. Sometimes in life, in communicating, we should learn to communicate simply and we should deep our understanding because each of us live in a different culture where every perspective in life are different. With the absence of elements, success of communicating will not be supported. There may be a lot of misunderstanding due to barriers, misconnection of thoughts that may lead into doubt about the messages that some received, and the feedback may worst, of course. Absence of one element may affect each person's emotions, thoughts, especially when a group of people reaches each ideas to create something. Let's see for brainly code. For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate. And yes, if you communicate and lack of element, you can't deliver the message clearly and understandable to everyone. This may create conflict and you may lose to be understood by everyone. For example, when you are in a relationship, communication must run to keep the trust, love that you both deserve. Always choose to understand and communicate each other. The span of relationship always have the misunderstanding, but always heard the clarification both sides to prevent separation and save your relationship. Don't make the ego a barriers to have a clear understanding. Furthermore, we are living in a scared way because of COVID-19, right? So some people tend to be alone, spending their time using gadgets and not knowing reaching people could give a big help for everyone. Use gadgets as the medium and let's communicate and help each other, guys. Use gadgets as the medium and don't let barriers interrupt the good communication that everyone may offer, and don't let the absence of elements be burden for all the chances that communications had. In the pandemic, we just need to listen and reach out.